Hello, welcome you on board. First of all, I would like to appreciate your proactiveness. While all your friends and classmates are hanging out at platforms like Insta, Snapchat, and Netflix, and all these things, you have chosen to focus on your career. As you know, this is a career alignment platform. Trust me, by the end of this session, you will get to understand the dynamics of fresher recruitment in IT. All your myths will be busted, and the most important thing, you will be given a new lens to view the IT world and plan your career accordingly. Okay? Finally, I promise you that your perception towards building a career in IT and facing an IT interview will be transformed completely after this session. Yeah, it happens for sure, because it happened for thousands of people who have gone through my book and interacted with me personally. I am the living proof, okay? Who am I? Let me introduce myself. I will take you through the presentation. Yeah, the picture itself tells the entire story. Basically, this is an institute to industry alignment workshop. How many of you are really serious about building a career in IT? Put this question to yourself and answer it. If you are really serious and ready for it, then this session is going to offer you a clear roadmap. Okay. These are the three ground rules. Okay. 3 E's: empty cup, emotion, and energy. Firstly, empty cup. You should empty your mind and be open to absorb. Second one, emotion. You should be emotionally connected to it. Don't watch it casually as you are watching a WhatsApp status or Insta reel. Okay. Third one is energy. You should have your full energy channelized over here to get the maximum out of this session. Stay focused. You should be present here physically, mentally, and emotionally. Okay. I am Mankina Udaiban. Worked as a software engineer for last 12 years. I used to be part of the central recruitment department of our company, where I got an opportunity to understand how these IT companies hire people or engineers at different levels. Say freshers, experienced professionals, etc. Fortunately, my specialization is fresher recruitment. With all that experience put together, I have authored a book called IT Bills. Okay, it is a step-by-step guide to get a job while you are on campus. Okay, let me show you my book. This is my book. It has been the Amazon bestseller in 2022 when I launched it. Okay, and two things about IT jobs. Listen carefully. IT jobs are easy to get and high paying. But how do we get it? You should have a blueprint ready with you and a structured preparation and presentation strategy. Okay, I told both preparation and presentation strategy. Preparation alone will not help you. Okay, all these details have been included in this book, and this book has got great reviews from all sections of the industry, say students, parents, employers, academicians, and everyone. Yeah, this book, which you have seen in the previous slide, has been featured in the Hindu newspaper back then. Okay, the article highlighted that B.Tech students who are in their final year should have a structured preparation plan and proper mentorship to crack a job while they are on campus, college campus. I got many good reviews from students, as this book has influenced their perception towards IT job. They have learned a lot about the IT career having gone through this book. Now, let me take you through the crux of this presentation. Okay, stay focused. These are the symptoms of failure. Yes, you heard it right. These are symptoms of failure. See, before entering into the interview room itself, it will be decided whether you are going to make it or not. If you sense that you are having any of these symptoms that were displayed in the slide, then mark my words, you are not going to crack that interview for sure. Now, let us discuss about the first symptom in detail. First one is fear or fumbles or anxiety. Yeah, the most common symptom which everyone has to go through it. You, me, and any person who is attending an interview will have to go through that phase. Why do we feel fearful? See, that fear would be like, I have to face an interview today. How do I handle it? And what happens if I don't handle it well? I may not get the job. This is the type of pressure that will be created in your mind. First one about fear. You will have fear filled in your heart while attending an interview. Second one is fumble. Fumbling means like whenever you heard something about an interview, it makes you fumble. You cannot speak clearly. Anxiety, it will make your situation much more worse. You will lose your emotional and mental balance completely with this anxiety. Now, the second symptom is poor presentation. Yeah, this one is it's little tricky. Like, you know about the subject, but you will not be able to open your mouth in front of the panel. You know the answer, but you will be terrified. Like, you will not be in a situation to open your mouth at least. And it's a most common symptom, especially for freshers. Some people, if they are so sensitive, they might have experienced this feeling during their Viva Voice session itself in the college. Now, let us come to the third symptom. It is improper structuring. Like, here, you know the answer. You will be able to present it to the panel. But the problem here is that you will not be able to structure it properly. Structure means like you will be keeping the first sentence in the last and last sentence comes first. A lot of grammar mistakes will be there, and the speech flow is inconsistent, like using broken sentences and all these things. Okay, this is about improper structuring. Now let us come to the fourth symptom. It is attitude mismatch. Here, an interviewer will be trying to test a specific attribute or a personality trait within your profile, but you will answer to that question as you wish to do it. There is no connection, there will not be any connection between his question and your answer. This is called attitude mismatch. You should be able to understand the motive behind his question. Then only you could answer it better and you will be matching his frequency. This is attitude mismatch. Next symptom is poor negotiation. Negotiation is a kind of discussion at which you try to convince the opposite person. But here in an interview, what actually happens is most of the times this candidate will either bargain with the interviewer or beg the interviewer for a job instead of proving his point or convincing the interviewer. It's very embarrassing and yields in a negative outcome. You should be able to put your opinion forward in a right spirit. Okay. The next symptom is persuasion. Persuasion is a 21st century skill. Okay. You should be leading the interview and make the panel feel that you are the right person for this job. It is your responsibility to make the panel believe that you are the right person for that job which is being offered by their company. But what happens, majority of the candidates will be like, their attitude is like, I will give my answer and it's the responsibility of the interviewer to pick me up. No, it will not happen. Why will he care for you? Your answer should be polished, toned and neutral and persuade him to pick you up. Okay, you have to really acquire this skill, persuasion. Next one is communication skills. The most overhyped and the most talked about concept in all the colleges and institutions. It is already overhyped, so I will not be stressing it anymore. But not only communication skills, you have to need other skills also to bag an employment offer. Okay. Now I have a question for you. How many of you know about these symptoms before this session? Have you ever checked yourself if you are a victim of these symptoms? See, the worst part is that if you are a victim of these symptoms, you will get to know about these only after failing in an interview, because there is nothing called feedback for an interview, and second thing, there is no mechanism to track your interview preparation. See, in colleges you have mechanisms to track your semester courses, say internals, externals, theory, lab, exams, all these things, but for an interview there is nothing like that. The only mechanism is you go attend an interview after clearing written, all these things. Okay, you go attend an interview, face the panel, and once you fail in an interview, then only you will get to know that you have done something wrong. Nobody is there to guide you like what happened there or why did you miss that chance. No one, no way. Any interview, not only IT interview. Okay, see, you will prepare at that level for your semester end exams, but what about job? There's nothing like a standardized preparation for a job. What you will do simply is that you will aim to hit a bullseye, but in return, don't forget that bull will overpower you in more than 90% of the cases. Some lucky champs may get a job when the IT mood is good and if he is extremely lucky, but it is not advisable. You have to follow a standardized process to succeed in an interview. See, there is a quote on the bottom of that slide. Don't fix symptoms, fix problems. Okay, why? If you try to fix those symptoms, if you try to fix the one symptom, that symptom will go away and the new symptom will arise. These symptoms are endless. Okay, you have to focus on the problem and you have to fix that problem. Once the problem is fixed, there is no chance for the symptom. Okay, let me explain you with an example. You have a bike at your home and you need to go to a medical shop immediately. You took your bike and you try to start the bike by kicking the kick rod. You kicked once, it didn't get start. You kicked twice, it didn't get start. You are kicking it hard and hard on the third and fourth attempts, but it is not getting starting. It is making sounds like drr, 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 like that, but you are not able to make out. Okay, see here those sounds drr, drr, drr. These are the symptoms. If you try to fix those symptoms by kicking it for the sixth time, seventh time, eighth time, even you kick for n number of times, it will not solve the issue. What you have to do is you have to check whether the fuel is there or not. If the ideally I am considering a situation that the bike is not starting because it doesn't have fuel. I am considering it as the situation, and still that that rider is kicking his bike multiple times. If that rider checks if fuel is there in the tank or not, if if the fuel is not there, it is the problem. He has to fix that problem by getting it refueled. Once the refueling is done, that bike will start for one kick. Instead, see, if he focus on kicking the kick rod, that bike will never start. Like this is like focusing on the symptom. What is the fixing the problem? Fixing the problem is like you have to get your tank refueled. Then only that bike will start. Okay. This is called fixing the problem. Thank you. Let me take you through the next slide. Gaps in the approach. The first gap in the approach is perception mismatch. See, it is a very important area. You prepare for an interview in your point of view. Like you'll be thinking that in interview it might be like this, so I have to prepare in such a model so that I could be able to crack this interview. It's all your perception. Maybe your friend tells it to you, maybe your teacher or trainer explains it. However, it is your perception. Okay. But is that true? If so, how are you so certain? Who told with you? Have you ever spoke to an interviewer? Are you exposed to any recruitment drive? Then how? How do you know? Listen carefully. An interviewer will see you, test you, and evaluate you having his own perception or corporate perception or the terms dictated by his own company. Okay. Now the point is you have to fit into that perception, the interviewer's perception or the company's perception. I guarantee that 99% of you don't know what an interviewer looks for in a candidate. See, you will be expecting one thing, but the interviewer will be expecting an entirely different thing. This is an absolute mismatch between the perceptions of a candidate and the interviewer. The second gap in the approach is practical awareness. This is a very highly rated attribute in an interview. You will learn all the concepts, FAQs, definitions, everything from the internet or your textbook, all being theoretical in nature. But after stepping into the interview room, the interviewer's focus will be on testing your ability to implement all those concepts practically. See, in my experience, I have seen people like, I will pick one example. There is a girl who walked into the interview room. When asked about inheritance, she explained that concept beautifully. But when we asked her to write a simple code to demonstrate multiple inheritance, she could not write even a single line of code. See, this type of approach will not help you. You should be able to implement a concept practically. Then only interviewers will be ready to hire you. Okay. The third gap in the approach being lack of advanced skill set. This is a burning issue. See, the world is moving around artificial intelligence, data science, cyber security, machine learning, all these kind of things, and you will come to an interview and say that, sir, I know C, C++, basic Java, all this primitive stuff. See, IT field is ever evolving. You will wonder if I tell you that 90% of the technologies that are going to rule the next decade are not even invented by now. In this fast-paced and ever-evolving IT world, you should possess an advanced skill set. This is where most of the candidates fail to comply. The next gap in the approach being knowledge is not equal to skill. See, this is a highly rated attribute and a predominant issue. See, what is the difference between knowledge and the skill? I'll give you 2 seconds. Just think of it. See, knowledge is what you know, whereas skill is what you can implement with the knowledge that you have. In a college environment, marks and grades are offered to students who have knowledge. But contrastingly, in an IT interview, jobs are offered to candidates who have skills. So one needs to develop his skill set for getting an IT job. Okay. The next parameter is well-positioned interviewer, L by R. Here L by R stands for left/right. Okay. In that image that is shown to you, take a guess who is the interviewer and who is the candidate. The person who is sitting on the right side and having his glass of water, he is the candidate. And the person who is sitting on the left side looking into the paper, he is the interviewer. Okay. If you observe carefully, that interviewer is very cool and calm, whereas this candidate is nervous and having a glass of water. Do you know why it is like that? Any guesses? Okay, let me tell you. The candidate who is attending the interview, maybe this is the first time he is coming to the interview, and naturally he will be under pressure. And the second thing, he knew that chances in an interview are limited. But whereas the interviewer, he might have interviewed many such candidates like him before. It's just like a routine job for him. Now we move on to the second part. I told you that, or you can see that interviewer is holding a paper in his hand, right? Do you know what that paper is? It's called candidate assessment sheet. Okay, it will be having a total of 4 to 5 portions in it. Okay, the first portion will cover the candidate's general skills area. Second one will be focused on the candidate's technical skill set, and the third portion is focused on the project or practical capabilities of the candidate. And the fourth part, the most important one, focuses on the employable skills, which we will be discussing in much detail during the coming sessions. It differs from company to company, but these four portions are common. Maybe some companies will have additional parameters like critical thinking, problem solving, team skills, okay, all these things. They may add up, okay, but these four things are common. And how will the sheet work? Each portion will have some 20 to 25 subparameters or attributes with individual rating enabled for each of them on a scale of 0 to 5. Listen, an interviewer needs to award scores for each of these attributes individually, while parallelly he is asking questions to the candidate and evaluating his answers. If you understand carefully, interviewer will be having everything handy with him. All he has to do is to evaluate you on the basis of the assessment checklist and award scores. That's it. That's the reason he is very cool and calm. As he is clear of his expectations and responsibilities, he will be naturally cool, right? But what about you as a candidate sitting in front of the interview panel? You are not even aware if that assessment sheet actually exists. Even if you know, I'm 100% sure that you are not at all expecting an interview process to be designed in such an organized manner. But it is like that. It tests you, it measures your caliber, and it rates you at such a minute level. That's the reason IT career is such a prized position. Why? Because you clear all these levels. And finally, the interviewer. He would be a consistent high performer in the company, technically competent and mentally stable. Needless to say, he must have been very well trained and could read your mind just like that. See, it reminds me of a proverb. Ignorance is a bliss. Till this point, you don't know any of these things, and you might be considering an interview to be a lighter game, but it's not actually like that. Normal preparation would not help you succeed in an interview. Then how do you need to prepare? It has to be like you should be preparing as per the attributes that were mentioned in the candidate assessment sheet. It is the right approach, no? That itself is a structured preparation plan, isn't it? But how do you get it? Don't worry. This program is designed to provide you with all those details. Okay. The next gap in the approach is no plan or roadmap for a job. Without having any plan or roadmap for a job, if you just prepare for your basics and attend an interview, will you able to crack that interview? Is that possible? No, it's not possible. Not only IT interview, you take any interview for that matter, it will not be possible for you to crack a job directly just like that. You have to be cautious and smart while preparing for an interview and even while giving an interview. Okay? There is a quote mentioned on the bottom of that slide. It goes like this. There is nothing to do with talent. It's all about technique. Whether you know to ride a bike or not. Okay. Whatever you know or whatever you have, that knowledge and all, you have nothing to do with it. It's all about technique. What is technique here? If you are offered a job, will you be able to deliver your responsibilities on time? That is the technique. If you satisfy that one condition, if interviewer believes that you could deliver all your responsibilities on time, he is going to pick you. Okay, just only that technique is needed. Nothing regarding your knowledge or something or other, nothing is relevant here. Just do you have the technique to deliver your duties on time? Just that. See, if you want to ride a bike, you should learn riding a bike, okay? But reading about a bike and what all its composition, its engine and all these things, it will not help you actually in the process of riding a bike. If you consider a job to a bike, interviewer will see only whether you know to ride a bike or not. It doesn't matter about what all the information that you have about that bike. Interviewer doesn't look at it. He will just check if you could ride a bike or not. Same thing with the job. He will not consider your knowledge or something or the other. He will see if you can do the job well or not, if you have that capability or not. Just like that. Okay. See, this slide highlights about the functional skills versus vital skills. What are functional skills? You can see them there. Colleges and institutions emphasize more on functional skills. Okay, what are they? Subject knowledge, theoretical approach, basic degree certificate, good percentage, and all these things fall under functional skills. Okay, but these functional skills are redundant now. We cannot get a job with these functional skills alone. Those days are gone. Now, the need of the hour is vital skills. You should have these vital skills to crack any interview or to get any job in today's market. Okay, what are these vital skills? You can see them in the slide now, and we will be discussing about each of them in detail now. See, first one is technical skill. See, I told technical skill, not technical knowledge. That means whatever knowledge, technical knowledge you have, you should be able to implement a particular feature. Okay, so that you will be counted for a position or an opening in an IT company. Okay, technical skills are very important and they form an integral part of your portfolio. Okay, next vital skill is emotional intelligence. See, this is very important and you have to develop this. Emotional intelligence is very relevant in an interview, because when an interviewer puts a question to you, you have to think of that question and react in a short time. That too, your answer should be crisp and to the point, so that it strikes a chord with the interviewer. It all depends on your emotional balance and emotional intelligence. Okay, that's the reason emotional intelligence is considered to be a crucial skill in today's world. Not only in an interview, even after getting into the job, emotional intelligence plays a huge role in your career development. So you have to focus on your emotional balance and work on improving your emotional intelligence. Okay. The third one in the list is interpretation skills. What are interpretation skills? Interpretation skills means that, see, when a question is put to you in an interview, okay, interviewer will have an underlying motive running in his mind. That means that he is trying to extract an answer for a particular question and he is asking a question. Interpretation skill helps you realize the underlying motive behind that question and be careful in answering that question. Okay, it helps you to understand the underlying motive behind the question that was put to you in an interview, so that you can answer with utmost caution and perfection. In simple words, interpretation skills will help you to read or understand the interviewer's perception. The fourth one is articulation skills. Articulation skills are a little different. That means you might have many things in your mind, but in an interview, see, marks are awarded to whatever you speak in front of the panel, not to the knowledge that you have in your mind. Articulation skills are like the ability to speak your mind out. It can be simply understood like giving words to your thoughts and feelings, and that too in a controlled and regulated manner. Okay, this is where articulation skills comes into picture and they play a very big role, because as I told you just before, in an interview, marks are awarded to what you speak in front of the panel, not for what you are having in your mind. It's not a written test. You have to open up and speak in front of the panel. Okay, for that, you need to be extremely good at your articulation. Last but not the least, it is industry orientation. Industry orientation is a peculiar concept, like no one will be there to teach you something about industry. Okay, it's your motivation and you have to be charged up and you have to be curious to learn more about IT industry or any industry for that matter which you are looking to venture into. Okay, if you don't have orientation towards IT industry and and one fine day you are attending an IT interview, how would the interviewer be ready to take you? You have to develop a basic understanding towards IT industry. How do you develop it? You have to interact with industry folks, maybe your brother or sister or cousins, they might be working in an IT company. You have to talk with them. Okay, you have to you have to apply for internships and do multiple internships. Okay, you should interact with the industry guys, then only you will get to know more about IT industry. Okay, it's all about industry orientation. Now look at the code that was displayed on the bottom of this slide. You don't have a knowledge problem but a skill problem. Your focus is only on the knowledge and you left the skill just like that. But as I mentioned earlier, you may get good marks in exchange for knowledge at your college. But when you come to industry or you step out of college, jobs or for that matter any opportunity will be offered to you in exchange for your skills. So needless to say, you have to develop your skills. Okay, and don't blame the bike, it's your problem. Okay, you are given a bike and if you are not able to ride a bike properly, it's definitely your problem. Okay, you don't come back to us and say again that that bike is not properly working or something or the other. It all won't work, because as I explained during the previous slide that if you consider a job to a bike, interviewer will see whether you know to ride a bike or not. If you are not able to ride a bike, he will throw you out of the interview. Now after being thrown away from the interview, don't come back and say that that bike is not properly working or that bike is not good. Don't give all these kind of excuses. Here it might be like that interviewer is not good, that interview panel is showing partiality, that company is not good, they are not genuine. It all won't work. Okay, don't blame company or the interviewer or the panel or your college. Anyone cannot be blamed. It is your responsibility to develop a skill, and once you develop the required skill set, everyone is ready to offer you a job. Okay, interviewer mindset and interviewee mindset. See, it's all like the conversations between an interviewer and interviewee will be like, it's like a mind game. Okay, interviewer will intentionally play a mind game into with the interviewee. Interviewee means here the candidate. Okay, see, here the level of the interviewer will be much higher than the level of the interviewee or the candidate. You know why? Simple. Interviewer might have come from the same stage of the candidate and he might have seen many other candidates like this. Okay, so he will be acquainted with the process of the interview. And second thing, he will be having a candidate assessment checklist in front of him. He will be like sitting with a solution checklist ready with him before evaluating a problem. That is the candidate. Okay. See, I have been mentioning about attitude mismatch and perception mismatch during my previous slides, right? You'll get to know about that very clearly now. Okay, the interviewer's perception would be like, we love to hire problem solvers, right? IT job is involved with a lot of problems, like business world problems are taken up by these IT companies and they would suggest IT solutions for those real world problems. They actually need people who are ready to solve these problems. So they would love to hire these problem solvers. That's the reason they will be checking the candidates if he could solve a problem. May it be a technical problem, may it be a coding problem, anything. If he could properly attempt to solve a problem, this is the skill they are looking into a candidate. But what is the perception of a candidate? He is like, we want a job to solve problems. See, this candidate is thinking like, you give me a job, I'll try to solve the problems. But does it work in real time? No. Unless and until you prove that you could be able to solve a problem, then only IT companies or interviewers will allow you to take up a job. Okay, so it won't work that way. So this attitude or perception like, I want a job to solve problems, don't work. You should prove yourself that you could solve problems, then only IT companies will let you come in. Okay, the second perception is that interviewers will be like, we reward industry specific skills. What are industry specific skills? Maybe problem solving or ability to code, persuasion, convincing skills, articulation skills, ability to work within the team. These are industry specific skills. Okay, an interviewer rewards candidates whoever possess these kind of skills. Okay, but on a contrary, what would be the perception of the candidate? He will be like, we showcase our knowledge. Yeah, this is an important point. Candidates or students, basically these are final year students, they will be like, whatever you ask, whatever you may require, we don't bother. What we will do, whatever knowledge we have, that whatever we learnt even in our college, irrespective of the question that is put to us, we will take all that knowledge and dump it on the interviewer. Okay, then it is the responsibility of the interviewer to clear off his face and body. Okay, you're getting right. Interviewer is focused on industry specific skills, whereas this candidate is very much immersed in showcasing his knowledge. Whatever he knows, he will be presenting it in front of the panel. Nothing, whether it is related to industry or job, nothing. He doesn't want anything. Okay. Third one, the interviewer is like, we evaluate your overall personality. See, interview is a process where your overall personality is put at measure. Okay, they will check your tolerance levels, your convincing skills, your ability to open up, your ability to present your answers. Okay, your technical capabilities, your HR capabilities, your articulation skills, all these things are put at measure. Okay, then they will take a decision based on all these things put together. Okay, but what about the interviewee? These candidates are like, we rely only on communication skills, but the candidate is not concerned with all those personality traits. He just rely on the communication skills. These are only relevant to him because in their CRT program at colleges, these people will teach them only communication skills. Okay, he knows only about them, nothing more than that, nothing less than that. Okay, next one is like, interviewer will be having a mindset like, we gauge your solving technique. That means whenever a question is put to you, and as a candidate, while you are trying to answer, interviewer will be focused on how you are trying to approach a problem, how are you giving your solution, how are you understanding the question. He will gauge your solving technique on a whole. Okay, that is his priority. Okay, his primary intention is to gauge your solving technique on a whole. If you are good at solving a problem, if he believes that you are good at solving a problem, he will take you. If not, he will drop you. Okay. But what about the candidate? Their focus will be completely on the end solution. He will not be able to understand if there is any hidden motive behind the interviewer's question. Many a times there will be hidden motives behind the question, but this fellow will not be able to figure out all those hidden motives and all. He will be focused on giving the end answer. Interviewer is like, we will ask questions to lead the process. Yes, right. Interviewer will be asking questions so that he will get to understand more about the candidate. He will follow that approach. But whereas the candidate is like, we lead the case to a solution. The candidate is like, he is very nervous and he will be rushing to solve a problem, or he will be leading a case to the solution as soon as a problem is put to him. But in an actual scenario, that question was put by the interviewer to know more about that candidate. But without any rationality, this candidate will try to pull that question towards the solution. That means even if there would be no solution to that particular question, but this candidate will somehow try to provide a solution to that question. Maybe a wrong solution. It doesn't matter for him. His focus is like, I want to give a solution to the question. Whether whichever question it may be, I want to give a solution to that question. That's the attitude of a candidate. Okay. See, did you understand the mismatch between the interviewer's perception and the candidate's perception? There's a huge amount of mismatch. Interviewers are not going to change. This candidate has to rise to the level of the interviewer to match his level of thinking, and then it will be easy for them to get a job. Okay. We will be discussing about it in detail during the coming sessions. Okay. IT Ninja Pathway. See, this slide helps you to assess yourselves and let you know where do you fit into in the IT Ninja pathway. Okay. Let me explain you the different stages in the IT Ninja pathway. Okay. The first stage is fearful stage. The visibility would be like your body would be shivering and you'd be absolutely afraid of an interview. Okay. How would be the presentation of a candidate who is in this fearful stage? Probably he will try to avoid the interview. Even if he come to the interview, he will not open his mouth at all. He is mentally prepared like he is not ready for the interview at this point. Okay, this is the configuration of the fearful stage. That means people who are in this stage will not be ready to enter into the interview room also. Okay. Next stage is stage 2, nervous. Okay. Their visibility would be like, for looking, they will be like tensed and insecure. Their presentation would be like, the candidate fumbles and trips frequently. Okay. A nervous candidate could not focus on his interview. Next is the stage 3, underconfident stage, and this is a crucial stage because in my experience I have seen that 60 to 70% of the people would fit into this stage. Okay, their visibility is like they will be uncomfortable sitting on the hot seat. His presentation would be like he doubts himself and takes time for answering a question. That means he knows the answer, but he will not be able to put it across the table confidently. Okay, his answers would be inconsistent and unstructured. It happens due to the pressure and lack of confidence, but he could easily come out of it through practice. As I told earlier, though he knew the answer, he would not be able to deliver it well. Stage 4. Stage 4 is the confident stage. The visibility would be like the candidate is calm and composed. Okay. He is capable of presenting his views effectively. He articulates well. That means whatever he has in his mind, he would be able to put it across the table very well, and he wins the trust of the panel. Whether there might be some mistakes in his answers, but the panel will go with him because at least he would be able to open up and speak confidently in front of the panel. And most importantly, he will be able to interpret the interviewer. That means when a question is put to a stage 4 guy, he would be able to analyze the underlying motive that was behind the interviewer's question and answer accordingly. Okay, he was that sharp and focused. Stage 5, and this is the dream stage for any candidate in this hiring equation. Okay, their visibility would be like cool and energetic, like they will enter into the interview room with all the certainty in the world. Okay, they are sure that this job is theirs. Okay, and there will be only 1 to 2% of the people in the stage 5, and these confident people would be around 10% of the total headcount. This bold candidate will lead the interview. He persuades the panel to select him. Okay, he appears to be a gem of the gems. That means, I told you right, there will be only 1% or 1 to 2% of the total available candidates appearing for that interview. And this one is important. A bold candidate will portray himself as a perfect match for that advertised job profile. Okay, and this is all about the IT Ninja pathway, and it gives an opportunity to assess yourself and see where do you fit into in these 5 stages. Okay, dream job blueprint. See, if you see this slide, there are total 3 areas. They are candidate skills, job profile, and the industry requirements. See, every industry has its own requirements. Being IT industry will be having its own set of requirements. Okay, and you will have to align to those set of requirements as a candidate. Okay, candidate skills. Every candidate will be having his own set of attributes. Okay, he will be having a particular skill set. Every candidate will have a specific skill set. He may be good at some things, he may not be good at some things, like he will be having a specific skill set, right? Similarly, every job profile, that means every job that is advertised by a company, will be having its own set of requirements. Okay, not every job will have the same requirement, right? Every role will have a different set of requirements. Now, as a candidate, your motto should be like, you should pick a role where your skills and the industry skills and the skills that are required for the job profile advertised, all these 3 converge. You got it right. You have to pick up a spot where your skills and the industry skills and the skills that are required for the advertised job profile, all of them converge at a common point. Okay, this would be your mojo. Okay, you have to select that kind of role, then you could excel in your career. Okay, this marks the end of this session, and I hope that I have added a lot of value to you in terms of interview standpoint, and I believe that you have learned many things from me in this session. I promise you that the coming sessions would be much more interesting. I'm closing this session on a positive note that this session has provided a lot of insights for all of you in terms of interview process. Okay, looking forward to see you in the future sessions. Okay, thank you.